Hello, my name is Sina. My ID number is 60 18 16 63. My major is finance and banking at the Tony Fernandez School of Business. The topic that I have chosen to explain is question number 3. What is valid contract? Before I explain you about the valid contract, please let me explain you about the contract first. What is a contract? A contract is a written or spoken agreement, especially one concerning employment, sales to tenancy or tenancy that is intended to be enforceable by law. And the contract we can make it orally or in writing. Based on Article 4, contract can made orally or in writing. The law shall set up precise formalities in making a contract. Every contract not consistent with the formalities fixed by law shall be divorced except where there is any provision to the contrary. Contracts involving money or items worth more than 5,000 reals must be in writing. So in this article means that if you want to buy a product and the product is more than 5,000 real, you should make a contract in writing. But if your product is less than 5,000 real, you can make it in orally. What is valid contract? Based on Article 3, a contract is valid provided that it arises out of a real and free agreement. Is made by parties who have capacity to enter into a contract, has a subject matter that is certain possible to perform lawful and consistent with public order and customs. How do you know that is a contract, a valid contract? A valid contract based on Decree Law 38, a contract which is accepted and recognized by law as a valid contract when it fulfills in the condition there is offer and acceptance, formality, free will agreement, real agreement, legal purpose, capacity of the parties, and consideration. So when there is a contract, your contract should be fulfilled in the 6 conditions which state in Decree Law 38. So now let me explain one by one about the 6 conditions of contract. First one is offer and acceptance. Offer is an open call to everyone wishing to accept the promise and the offer of the offer, and generally is used for products and services. This is one of the elements to make sure that your contract is legal, valid, or accepted. About the acceptance occurs when an offeror agrees to be mutually bound to the terms of the contract by giving consideration or something of value like money to seal the deal. When the other party is clear with offer, they would make an acceptance once they are clear with the rules and regulations being offered in the contract. Next is formality. Formality is more important in contract to make agreement between both sides fair. The form could be written and verbal or oral contract. As said before in Article 4, when you make a contract related to currency or money more than 5,000 reals should be in writing. Free will agreement or real agreement. Free will agreement or real agreement, valid contract in Decree Law 38 that mentioned in Article 3, a contract is valid provided that it arises out of a real and free agreement. It means that the contract upon real agreements or both sides want to make a contract without force from either. It is made by parties who have the capacity to enter into a contract, means the party should have certain age without mental disability. For example, a 15-year-old kid sells the motorbike to someone. It is not a valid contract, has a subject matter that is certain, possible to perform, lawful and consistent with public order and good customs. Nobody forced others. For a legal purpose, in contract cannot created to govern the trade of illegal product or service. Like a drug dealer cannot enforce a contract with their buyer if their buyer doesn't pay them. So each party must show legal intent, meaning that they intend for the results to their agreement to be completely legal. Capacity of parties. Capacity in a contract is the parties to the contract must have the legal capacity to do so. The last one is consideration of the consideration. This requirement basically means each party must do or agree to do something he or she did not have to do before. Let me raise an example. Mr. A wants to sell his phone with $500 and Mr. B bought it with $500, then they agree. So Mr. B gives Mr. A money and Mr. A application is to give Mr. B phone, and they make the contract, sign it in a piece of paper. So if we talk about the first condition in this example, there is offer and acceptance. When Mr. A agreed to sell that phone and Mr. B agreed to buy it, the second condition is formality of contract. Mr. B may ask Mr. A an invoice and to sign on that invoice about the price of the phone. The third condition, Mr. A happy to sell his phone in $500 and Mr. B also happy to buy it. Nobody forced them. The legal purpose of the contract in this example is provided that Mr. A sold his phone legally. So in this condition means when you sell something, it should be legal and accepted by law. The conclusion in the sixth condition in a valid contract. Therefore, is it very important to have the main condition in a contract only if there are all the main elements in contract, then it would be legally valid to make a contract. People should take a precaution in making a contract to make sure that the parties would be in agreement with the terms made in a contract. So that is all of my explanation. Thank you for watching my video explanation. Thank you.